when he's in his loudest.
Welcome, everybody. This is a day trading options daily review for July 8th, 2015. I'm Scott. He's Alan. We want to tell you, keep up the momentum. When you're trading, you get momentum when you're trading, just like the stocks get momentum, and you want to ride those waves. So we're looking at July 8th. Our goal, we only have one goal, and that's to show you that it was possible for you to make 10% or more in 10 minutes or less on a consistent basis. And then you just have to figure out the math and decide how much money you want to make. And it's as simple as that. We've got 3 courses that show you exactly how this is done. They build on each other, the beginner course, the intermediate course, and the advanced course. And we really think that that's the place to start. When you take the courses, you get the use of this software for a month for free. In other words, we're telling you, check it all out, see if it works for you. There's lots of different ways to make money in the markets, and really there are some people that should not be trading in the markets. Their minds just don't work that way. But if you think you can make money in the stock market, and you think you can, you want to do a little bit better than what the bank is, and this is something we think you should take a look at. No hard sells, but wait, there's more. No bonuses, just the facts, ma'am. So, Alan, were we able on July 8th to make 10% or more in 10 minutes or less?
Yep, actually, I had to say, someone I know that trades, he's been trading fairly consistently, doing really well. His goal is to make $500 or so a day, and he's been doing that for a few months now. And but he made 150% on Apple, and I'll show you that trade. That's because of a court thing that happened later in the day. And so yeah, you can make the good ones, and that's where you use the news. We generally ignore the news. We don't want to rely on other people's opinions. I've done that before and lost money because some guy says, well, blah, 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 and I think, and then I put money on that and lost. And I know lots of people, including one of the coaches, Steve, did that too. It's like, ouch. So we don't like listening to news, but sometimes it makes sense as a clue for, hey, let's go watch this guy. But I'm going to just look at a couple ordinary trades right now. And so here I'm looking at Baidu. It's got all the signals. The basket's good. It's got great volume. It's 934. This is a rather large candle, so I'm a little hesitant. So what I did is I wait a minute. So I'm just going to arrow forward 1 minute. And I like it because it made a new high. So at this point, I say, yep, that's worth buying. So we'll just go hit the old buy button and see what happens here. So 1 minute, 2 minutes, we're still looking good. It fell back a little, but we're still slightly in profit. And then we're at 16%. And I'm just going to say thank you because that's what we do. And if you missed that one, strangely enough, there was another stock that looks almost identical at a similar time. Like if you go back here, it's like, wow, same setup, except this candle isn't quite as big. On the one, that one was fairly big, and then this one was fairly big. So again, I would like, wait a minute, see where this thing lands. This is still sitting at the top edge of where it was, which means it generally likes it in the market. Of course, it's the same market as it's running up. So if we say, let's go buy that one and see what happens. It's 1 minute, 2, 3, 19%. Well, there you go, it's enough. Remember, it's a strong market here, so we can have some comfort in knowing that it'll probably turn our way. Now, I want to talk a little bit about, I'm going to show you one other trade later in the morning, because I still get people saying, well, what about later in the day? And I says, okay, fine, I'll show you one. So here's one that happened, and it was nice and easy to spot. And so here you've got the 2 different signal colors. The market's red. I get the R. This is the same setup as you have in the morning. I get a little room before it hits the previous low. So we're just going to go hit the buy on the put side because the market is red on this stock. So what happens? 1, 2, it's pulling back. There, I've made profit. It punched through the previous low, which usually means that if it likes it on that side, it'll probably free fall for a while. So what happens? Well, let's just see here. I'm just moving forward rather quickly. So you can see here, these are many minutes happening quickly. I don't know, anything in the 20% is good. We have a volume spike. It's still running our way, 40%. The market is still really strong. You can see, heavily red. I'm at 50%. That's usually my exit. You can hang in longer like that other fella did on that other stock, but that's enough for me. So that one was 11.15. So, what were the clues? Same as always. It's the same stuff, just a different time of day. And generally, we don't make as much. The velocity or the momentum of wealth is not as fast usually in the afternoon as it is in the morning. Doesn't mean you can't get them. They're just not as often. So we're going to go look at Apple. And the reason I want to look at that is because, hey, anytime people making big money on a trade. So he bought some cheaper options that were a little bit out of the money. That's not what we teach people, but yes, you can do it if you have a strong feeling that it's going to run down fairly hard. So he bought some out of the money options here, and they ran into the money quite nicely. And so he made 150% on his money. And of course, he could buy lots of contracts, and he only had, I think, $700 and something on the table at the time. But he made a $1,200 profit. So that's a good couple hours work.
That's always considered a good day.
Yeah, I know lots of people work half a month and don't even make that kind of money. It's really quite sad. There's speaking about business, I'll be quick here, is the walking in the neighborhood. I go for a walk because I spend too much time on the computer doing things. And so there's a new store that's open, and they're selling gyros, and it's really good, healthy food in the sense that lettuce, tomatoes, there are no MSG kind of whatever, no, I don't think there's any GMO, but there's no chemicals on there like some of the big corps do. But here's a lady who's making a delicious, small, healthy, good meal for essentially $5. And somewhere down the street, I'd pay 8 to 10 or whatever. And she'll probably be out of business. Oops. She'll probably be out of business in a few months because she's got overhead and all these costs. I feel bad for her, but if I, just like you said in the beginning of the show, if I said to her, by the way, if you try day trading, she'd look at me like I'm trying to hit on her or conspiracy theory or something like that. And I'm like, it's none of that. This is just, reality stuff. Life is a lot simpler than that. So let me show you one other thing, and then we're going to call it a day here. And because my point about this is, we don't have to invent a lot of stuff. We can just use things. So here there's no signal color, as you'll see. There's nothing. And nothing happened after it. And the whole point of that is just use the indicators. You don't have to guess and hope and wonder. Like here you had a little hint of an indicator, but then there was no follow-up. Within that same candle, it died. There's nothing going on here. It's just, it's dead. And now you finally get something, with some training. It's like, and that's why we make the courses, to see, you guys can hear it whenever you want. But, that actually started to beat that thing. So maybe there's a chance for this stock to do something at this time. There's other things wrong with this setup, but the indicators are doing all the heavy lifting. You don't have to stand there all day making sandwiches for strangers for, a few bucks. You can actually just learn a few things, practice for free. I mean, you have a free trial, right?
That's right.
So take the course, which is relatively cheap compared to other courses I've taken and seen in the past, and really high quality information in a short period of time. And you can catapult your income with a relatively low amount of work compared to what doctors, engineers, and all that have to do. As a software developer, I had to go study. I had 12-hour days because it was like, well, what's the new technology? Well, you had to do that if you wanted to be in the top 10%. That's where I was. You had to be on top of all the changes and technologies and understand everything. And it's like, it was 12-hour days for what? I can do that here for a lot less. a lot less training, and you know, we're not going to be changing all these indicators every couple months. Like, well, are you using Ruby on Rails, or are you using JavaScript, or are you using it's like, no, dude, it's the same indicators like it was last year and the year before. So there's my conversation point for today. So thank you, Scott.
And an excellent one, Alan. Awesome. So make sure you click on the subscribe button to the right. Don't want to miss any one of our exciting episodes. We're here to show you can make 10% in 10 minutes trading stock options relatively safely. You need some training. We have coupons and deep discounts for you in the description below that show you how you can do that. Or you can head over to www.wavesofprofit.com. When you do take the training, we give you the program for a month and try it out. You can actually be making some successful trades before you and make back the small cost of the training before you make a commitment to the monthly program. So thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.